mystery guest. Mike Bjorkman is joining us now to talk a little bit of real estate. Hello, Michael.
Good morning.
Thanks. You're looking so comfortable and relaxed.
I am. It's cloudy out, and I just feel good and relaxed.
He even bust out the iPad while he's sitting
Well, I
here.
had my notes on here, and now it's not
know,
even on.
in case they get boring, I'll just play some Angry Birds.
Yes, exactly.
I've learned to always have something here with Google with you guys. So.
I want to tell you, by the way, I was in Kansas City for Thanksgiving with my family. They like you.
They like me from Kansas.
Well, yeah.
Well, because you know what? I'm originally from South Dakota, and I got that Midwesterner good old boy look.
Okay.
Well, my daughter.
I don't think they like you anymore. No, I'm kidding.
my daughter, I told you, it even said, I like that Mike guy.
Well, that's awesome.
I know.
And I love everybody.
Oh, what a guy. We're here. We want to talk about loan modifications because there's so much stuff going on, information, misinformation. You see commercials all the time. You know, you can lower your payment, no cost, Where are we?
The very first thing I always say is crucial. You must for sure go to, what is it, makinghomeaffordable.gov. That's the very first part you want to start if you're in any situation, maybe an unfortunate situation. But specifically, since we were talking about loan short sales a couple weeks ago, I got some emails from the viewers saying, you know, we're really into loan modifications. Some people want $2,000 to do it. Some people want $5,000 to do it. Should I do it myself? So I think we should answer those questions.
Do it.
First of all, if you think you want to do a loan modification yourself, be ready to spend an hour or two, sometimes a day, working on it, gathering every single bit of information. Getting a loan modification is applying for the loan similar to when you first bought the house. So if you can imagine that paperwork, but it's even more. So that's why there's people that'll do it for you. What I recommend is if you're very savvy with real estate and you're very good in sales and you know how to be nice and patient with people, I would recommend doing it yourself. I have, since 2005, we've been doing loan modifications, and we've pulled a lot of them off. Now, in the beginning, I did these for my clients, and we were doing them at no charge, but obviously, there's a lot of time required, so we had to stop doing that. So I've partnered up with a young lady in Orange County that helps me with mine. That's really the only person I've seen that doesn't take too long, lollygag, rip people off. So there's an option for that. But I'd say most of the claims out there are scams, especially a lot of the attorneys that are doing them. They're not doing them. Their staff is, and their staff's untrained, unlicensed, those types of things. But they're good. Right now, the bank is doing so many loan modifications because they figured out that, hey, we'll take a short sale over foreclosure any day, but we'd really like to have a loan modification. The statistics are over half of the people that have done a loan mod since 2005 have continued with it. That's a good success rate, believe it or not, in the default industry. So they're saying, hey, let's at least give these people a shot. If they don't follow through with their loan mod, then we can always short sell them later. Let's take the least amount of issues and problems up front. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So loan mods right now, especially with the big banks, Citi, Wells, B of A, Chase, they're giving them out left and right. And if you guys haven't heard of a loan mod and what they're doing right now, they're usually going to the 1-2% range for the first year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they go up maybe 0.5% or another interest rate point up, and you might be locked in at 3% for the next 30 years. So it's a really, really good deal, and they'll forgive everything that you haven't paid. Put that on the back of the loan.
What I had found when I was going through my loan mod, which was about 2-3 years ago, is that, and it was so funny because you guys said we're going to talk about loan mods, and I thought we were talking about something else different today. But this morning I had this thought as I was driving into work. I started thinking at that time when I was going through that, I wasn't myself. And I wasn't thinking right, because you're faced with losing your home. Things are, you have children to feed, and you've got so much going on, and you're not thinking the right way. And I wished I'd had someone to literally just kind of, guide me and say, you know what, Tammy, I've got this. Don't worry about it. You worry about putting food on the table for your children, and I'm going to worry about saving your home.
That's a great point.
I had no idea that I could have gone to you, called up my good buddy Mike, and said, and also there's also that aspect of you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because like, you feel like you're failing. And that's not the case, because it's funny when I found when I've opened up to people and have been honest about it, they'll be like, oh, us too.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Us too.
I mean, your best friend, your neighbor, your doctor, everybody's been through some unfortunate times in this economy. It reached so far and so wide that there's no reason to be embarrassed. And then a lot of times, and I hate to even admit this, but if you don't do it, you're going to be so far behind everybody that has done everything.
Right.
So, take advantage
right.
of what we can. I don't want to bring it up, but
Yeah.
there's somebody in particular that you're best friends with that made a lot of these programs possible, whether we think they're fair or not.
Well, and I want to go back on what you were saying because it's a very emotional time. And my dad said to me a long time ago, you can't make a good decision, especially something that's going to change your life, if it's based on emotion.
Right.
And it's very difficult. And piggybacking off of what you said, because you were
Is that
very,
what's wrong with me? Because I've made 3 years of emotional decisions.
That's right.
I am
We're here
all
to help you.
jacked up.
But I think you bring up such a good point though that you bring up, Tammy, because it is such an emotional time, and it is really the prudent thing to do is to just give that over to someone who is not emotionally attached, who has your best interest at heart, and will do the right things for you, so you don't have to make those kinds
And
of decisions.
had I done that, I would still be in my home today.
That's what I was going to say. Most of the people
I
that
would still
call
be in my
me,
home today.
even up a week until foreclosure, I can either usually do their loan mod first and then then do the short sale afterwards. There's a lot of good information on my website, SantaClaritaRealEstate.com. You can click on the short sale information and all that. There's so much literature and websites and just so much stuff that we've accumulated that we can help anybody in any situation. Most people don't even know they're in a situation that's no big deal. It just takes a couple phone calls to fix. And then some people unfortunately lose their house. But right now, this week is loan mod week. Let's put it that way.
And the rates are so super low. You were telling me earlier, there is now a 1% 5-year loan. It's not a balloon, it's a 5-year loan.
That's what I keep seeing. They start at 1%, they go for 3 to 5 years, and then they adjust to 2, then to 3, then they lock for 30 with the loan mods.
Wow.
And
so
then
it's pretty amazing.
And then I asked you a stupid question, and I am so comfortable in my own skin, I'll ask it again, so you can answer it again. But is there ever a bad time to make a loan modification?
No, never, because you're always going to get a lower interest rate. People, this is the good way to look at it. If you've lost half your income, like most people have done in this economy, then the loan mod, what it does in effect is make half of your payment go away. So now you can easily afford your home at half the payment it used to be when you made double the income. Makes perfectly good sense. Anybody who doesn't look into that before losing their home is out of their mind.
Right.
Right.
And that's, you're right, a third party is always better, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Whether it comes to refining, loan modding, short sale, it doesn't matter. If it has anything to do with a spot where you live, that's what I do all day.
And
I'm
Mike,
here for
and
everybody.
I'm an intelligent woman, and I can usually figure everything out. And I made wrong decisions because, again, you're so emotionally vested. So, again, there's no reason to not call Mike Bjorkman
I appreciate
for
it.
help.
Mike, thanks again, as always.
All right,
We
we'll see you
appreciate
guys all
that.
next week.
Absolutely. And if you need more information about Mike Bjorkman, you can always go to our website, scvtoday.com. That's it for our show today. And we didn't even get a chance to ask you, what do you think about being at the PAC?
I
is a
love
cool
this place. Clint Black's coming.
I
Yes.
know.
I'm going to be here for that.
Manhattan
Front and center.
Transfer is going to be here this
I know.
weekend. We were talking about that earlier.
This is a beautiful facility. It's hard to believe that we have this in Santa Clarita. We're so
Right.
blessed,
Right.
and hope everybody knows
I came here
about
for
it
the
and
first
comes and
time
visits.
a few months ago and saw Sound of Music. It was awesome. Loved
It's
it.
hard to believe you're not going to
Yeah.
LA and all the traffic
I know.
and Hollywood and all that.
Right here.
Come on out, folks. It's a great place.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us today. We always appreciate it when you spend some of your day with us. We hope you have a great day.